Hits and Crits. This video is brought to you by Asmodee.
What's up, critters? Welcome to the Martell Season 6 patch update with 2 teammates at the same time, and both great Martell players. Don't judge them yet. But both great in what they do. Both building cruel lists. So great to have both of them. So we have Toby with me, and we have Martin with me.
Hey guys.
And we're gonna show you our key takeaway, our deep dive on the Martells. When we talk about a deep dive faction review, we have to talk about a recap or a current state where the Martells are right now. So Toby, in terms of where they are right now, I think from my point of view, as a player that receives them most of the time, they are in a very solid state, always been, since release, solid faction, solid deck, solid balance, always great synergies. But where have they been in Season 5? What's your, where were they in Season 5?
I mean, in my opinion, clearly top tier faction, one of the best tactic decks in game, and really, maybe one or two only okayish cards here. With the addition of this Garage Bowman, I think the roster feels now really more or less complete. We have a little bit of everything, Cav, infantry, and also a skirmisher, long range now. And we have really some good commanders, really good commanders. I think we will also talk about this a little bit in a minute. And based on that, I would say clearly very good. Although I have to say, in my opinion, they are still missing a little bit. We still have some weak points, I have to say. Also,
you have to laugh right away, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
So some matchups are still like really challenging. But nevertheless, I think there's always a chance to win a game. So Martin, what is your take?
I think Martells are more like a scalpel to play, less like a hammer or an axe, something like this. If you're playing them like a hammer, you will not be very successful with them. But if you can set the tone, know where to strike, know which unit to kill, when to hold back your card or when to play your card, Martells are pretty good. And I think when you master this learning curve, to know what to do, when to do, then Martells are very good. In Season 5, one of the worst matchups, in my opinion, was the Star Greyjohn 9 activation. That was pretty tough, close to unwinnable. If the Stark player was when the Stark player knows what to do, but Greyjohn got a little bit nerfed, so good for Martells.
Good for Martells. Okay, so in terms of a recap, we also have seen a 52+% win rate, an 11+% or almost 12% pick rate for the Martells in over 3,000 games. How does that compare to what we see elsewhere, Toby? Is there why is that?
Yeah, regarding win rate, I would say they're in a good spot, in a healthy spot also. If you compare it to some specific lists like MOD, for example, which has a win rate which is well above 60%. This is incredible. Also, Brotherhood Without Banners, for example, there are some lists which really high win rates.
Yeah.
And overall, 52, I think it's almost perfect, I have to say. So this is really also showing that they are in a good spot. And pick rates. I mean, we have now how many factions? 10 or 11?
10.
With 10.
No,
so
10.
it's like
10 with neutrals.
Showing,
yeah.
So it's also showing like there's also a really good split. Almost perfect, I have to say.
So you mentioned Oberyn in the beginning, And not only is he a great character in the books and the show, he also stole the spotlight in season 5. Why do you think that is? I mean, is that and I see you, Toby, playing him a lot, a lot. Is he
a lot?
a lot? Is he? Is that? Does that just come from, the poison aspect, and that really fuels, or that really, because it really fosters the base decks? What is it?
So Oberyn was there from the start, but the cards, his tactic cards were different, and I think they were changed between the change of season 4 to season 5.
Yeah, they were.
And but this was really, really important and impactful. Unexpected exhaustion. The change of unexpected exhaustion made him playable. Before, the unit needed to have a vulnerable token, and now the card gives a vulnerable token to the unit. I mean, this was a really big change. And the poison is super strong. I mean, this is almost a guarantee to take out one unit. And there are really, really incredible combos with Ilaria, martial training. You attack a unit beginning of a round where it's not activated, so it's guaranteed 3 wounds. When you're attacking, and much control. So the poison, take out a unit. The cards give you much control. So you can debuff units, and overall, I think this is a really incredible package.
Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, Harmon Uller, is that always been your second list that you bring? And why is that? Why is that?
I mean, Harmon Uller was from the start, I would say, one of the best commanders when he came out. And he is still, I think, his cards are insane. Battle Endurance, Set for Charge, and Spitful Truth are just amazing cards. His attachment is, I would say, still okay. I mean, Supply Aid was really great on him. Now with reinforcements,
good old times.
It's still fine. It's still really good. And I mean, he in principle, in my opinion, gives Martell something which they typically don't have: additional healing, from his attachment card, but also from his tactic cards. And I mean, Battle Endurance, Set for Charge are also really great cards, in my opinion. And it also a little bit plays into the playstyle fills into the playstyle of Martell.
Exactly.
I mean, as Martin pointed out, I'm not aggressive, but if you would like to attack me, Set for Charge.
I'm passive aggressive. Yeah,
I'm passive aggressive.
And Martell's really they gain from long-term games, right? I know there is Gerald Dane lists, or highly aggressive lists that want to hit destroy unit in round 2, but in general, the regular, the average Martell list gains over time. This is something I experience, right? Not only because of rising temperatures, also because of other cards. Absolutely. Because you gain the advantage over time, especially because of all the shenanigans you can do on the tactics board, etc. So so that's that. So Martin, the new Doran, who used to be really different in terms of his own zone, and it was really, really different. Please give us a recap of the old and the new Doran, and why the new Doran found his place in the current meta.
Yeah, old Doran was crazy. There's no other word for him. He gave you
all these victory points.
Six victory points, 2 for round 4, and so on. That was so crazy. That was a time when everybody had to bring Peter, and let's be honest, that was too good.
And that's not good for the game.
He was too good. He was crazy. Then he was nerfed down to 1 victory point per round, so you only gain 3. That was good for the Martells because, as you said, you want to play over time, and when the game takes longer and longer and longer, Doran could give you this point. And this was also, as in Magic terms, he was a winning clock. That was good. And then they changed him to a control element. He can hand out a wound, he can draw a card, he can make a shift and a maneuver now.
Yeah.
And that he's good and more balanced in a different way. He's like the Scalpel in a Scalpel faction. He gives you, as Toby said, when I have poisoned the unit, he gives you, and then I can hand out a wound and another token. Oh, a vulnerable token, so another wound for you. He can draw cards, he can heal, he can remove condition tokens, and I
a
think
Swiss
that's
Army
the
knife. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A Swiss Army knife in a lot of small Swiss Army knives army, and he can do a lot of stuff for you, even with the downside of the water gardens. If your opponent claims water gardens first, top of the round, not so good because you have to activate unit as a Mattel player, and my opponent still has got tempo on board because he can go on the tactics board as well. But with his token collecting game, and he can go water gardens, get 2 tokens, and then spend them immediately. That's pretty good, and I think that's the reason why he sees still play, and he won me a game here and there, so I think he's good.
Yeah, so that's where we are for the Martells. Now this new change, this new patch shakes everything up and gives us 3, 4, 5, in general 4 free attachment points. What does that do, Toby, to the Martells, to your list building? In general, we just try to max out these 4 points and bring something in, but it did something incredibly great happen to the Martells with these 4 points, or do you see, well, I can't max it out? Because we had that in the past also. We had people saying that's great in general, but it does not really change what I do with my lists, with my faction. What is it for you in the Martells?
Yeah, I think there are some really interesting choices now. So first of all, I think the change to Areohota is incredible because
amazing. Yeah.
The change of this single attachment makes now, in my opinion, 2 commanders viable. Damon Sand and also Gerald Dane. Before, it was always a problem with both commanders. They also have great cards or good
but you need
cards.
to grab them. Yeah.
However, you need them to have at the right point. Time. Yeah.
What was it? Lone Knight.
Yeah, Lone Knight for Gerald Dane and for Damon Sand, Need for Vengeance, for example.
Yeah.
Coordinated. Assault or tactics, whatever. Plotting, coordinated plotting, exactly.
Yeah.
And by now having this possibility or the way of getting these cards when I want, this is absolutely nuts in my opinion. Yeah, and this is for me one of the biggest changes. And I mean, the rest I would say, so this is for me the very much or most positive change at all, Hota, in my opinion. I mean, and then in my opinion, you have some other good choices for skirmishers. Spearlord, in my opinion, is still the best attachment because it kind of counters one of the biggest disadvantages of skirmishers, attack profile. 7.5.4 is really not great. Yeah, I mean, when they are at the second rank, they have a problem. And the rest, I have to say, I'm still playing around. Yeah, so I think there are also some Edric Dane is also an auto-include in my opinion now. Yeah, so you have Hota, you have Edric Dane and the Spearlord, and then it already becomes quite challenging to fit in another one, right? And where I see challenges at the moment is Cuff. Yeah, so I think Cuff is really good in the game.
Yeah.
But the problem I'm at the moment having with Cuff is in general, when you are not able to spend all 4 points, how bad is it? Yeah, how bad is
probably
it?
Not so. I feel.
Yeah,
I mean, if you just use 2 or 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is, in my opinion, at the moment, one of the most interesting questions to solve.
Yeah.
how a 43, 42 list compared to a 44 point list, for example.
Yeah. So I feel actually the same. Like in the Night's Watch, I was like when I thought about Martells, about the 4 points, I was definitely looking at the Spear Lord, right? Because boldness and courage is just a great thing to do. Not because of meta defining for the Martells is obviously the Sand Skirmish is obviously, but in general, boldness and courage is a great thing. And I told you in our pre-discussion, I was really surprised how well Lee played during the Invitational when he brought this Obara Sand list in Cutthroats, and he brought 2 Darkstar Retinue with Spearlord 2, and I was like, what is that? Is that a meme? Is that why? Right? And then he started playing, and I was like, man, that really works. I don't know how, but it does. So again, the Spear Lord is really a great thing. Like in the Night's Watch, first thing I thought was I will just bring double Watch Captain, right? Double Watch Captain, boldness and courage, and relentless is just a great thing to do. I will just build the list as I did, just put 2 Watch Captains in, and it will be stronger in any way. It will just be stronger. Yeah. All right, so we can summarize it. They benefit from these 4 points or 3, whatever. But Cav, I think this Cav thing, especially because of the neutral restriction we got, is kind of heavy, right? Because we all love the Glory Seeker. Now in season 6, it is more the Fortune Seeker. Kind of. It's Cav, more. Yeah. So, but now we can't take them for at least not for free. So, which is good. But this is something that every faction has, not only Martells, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. But we got specific changes for the Martells also. So we have or basically general changes, but which affect the Martell like directly. And we will start with this one particular tactics card that got changed. So Sustained Assault got changed in general. As we discussed in the general changes video, it basically got this new paragraph saying if this targets Obara's unit, the defender also becomes vulnerable, which makes Sustained Assault a better card, especially long term, like longer games. But it just makes it better, while Assault Orders got a nerf. So, Martin, in your view, Obara Sand does not pop up as one of the top picks or top commanders for Martells, because in my point of view, in one sentence, Obara does not really play the Martell game, right? She's an aggressive commander. She wants to kill. She brings great keywords and everything, but she does not fuel what Martells is trying to achieve in general. So how do you feel about this change of Sustained Assault for her?
Yeah, you're exactly right. She's a warrior. She wants to jump into your face as early as possible. This card makes her a little bit better because obviously it's a buff. Every buff makes something a little bit better. But to be fair, in total, it's not a buff that I would say, yes, I want to play Obara now, because when Martells can do something, it's handing out vulnerable token. They hand out vulnerable token as candy. Everybody, Elaria, Cunning Ploy. They have Ario Hota's attachment has got a mark target as well.
Mark target now,
There's another vulnerable token.
But for 1 point.
The High Helmet Sentinel vulnerable token. So don't get me wrong, it's a buff, but just such a small one. And it's not helping her. I'm sad that I have to say that, but it's a truth.
Yeah. Doesn't put her up in the upper ranks.
No, it definitely doesn't put her up. So it's
still a fun commander only.
Yeah, she's a fun commander, but this vulnerable token does not bring her over the top here. So it's nice to have, but it's not the craziest thing in the world.
So coming back to the general changes, or the more crucial changes we see in Martells, let's go to Eris, Edric, and the High Hermitage. Who of the 3, Martin, is your top pick now? I mean, Asten or Toby already spoiled it a little bit, but who is now now really up there, and you say, okay, now I need him?
Yeah, not a secret here. It's a little guy in the middle, Eric Dane. He's an
Adric Dane,
auto-include.
yeah.
And auto-includes are never good for the game. And Martell now have 2 with him and Oreo Hota for the competitive play, but he's so good. You can put him in Sand Skirmishers with Darkstar. They have always rerolls. You can put him with Obara in a unit of, let's say, Sunspear Dervishes, also rerolls. He doesn't care about the attachment restrictions.
Yeah.
So I disagree what Toby said with cavalry is a problem. I think Martells don't care about cavalry. They can play 3 units of Sand Skirmishers. Only bad guys do this, I know, but they don't need cavalry
We are good guys.
they are so mobile and so quick. They can play without them, and you can have a 7 activation list with 3 NTUs, 4 combat units. 3 combat units have a 1-point attachment, and your general can pick Eric Dane as well.
Yep.
So Martells are always 44 points if they want. It's not the biggest thing in the world that they don't have a cavalry attachment.
Yeah. But
I think, to be fair, we are for the common people, and we want a healthy game. And I think
for the small
and
folk.
Ario Hota, for the small folk.
Yeah.
We want to be loved by the small folk, and he and Hota are not good for the game.
Yeah, so obviously, so how you put it, so actually season 6, what it tries to achieve in general, that we, should try out certain attachments and get crazy about list building and do this and that, is not really happening for Martells, because we see factions who get crazy and do not say this is auto include, you always do the 2. So we see a lot of factions now trying out stuff. While I hear you guys, you would probably go for Adric Dane, you go for the Spearlord, you go for Ariahota, right? Yeah. So this is actually not what we want to see, but what would probably happen. Okay, so how do you feel, Toby, about Eris and High Hermitage on the other side?
I think Eris, in my opinion, is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to reroll defense dice and to, let's say, don't get the vulnerable spent by your opponent can be quite interesting, because we are now in a meta where every unit has fierce charge.
Yeah.
Almost every unit.
Almost, yeah.
And almost. And the only problem, of course, is you need crowns for that. And here I'm thinking about, you need Peter maybe in a list to guarantee the one or the other time to have crown, for example. But this is interesting, and I already played him in Blackguards, and it felt really good. Yeah, but as I said, you need somehow to think about how am I assuring that I'm having controlling crown.
Yeah.
The Sentinel, in my opinion, is also a niche pick, can be super powerful. I just saw some people putting him into Skyreach Bowman just for the one more movement speed, which is, in my opinion, really interesting, because your threat range is now also like growing. Yeah, so you have now 14-inch movement, march movement, which and I think there are some interesting ideas you can, but we have to try out. I would not say Sentinel and Oakheart are an auto include, but it depends a little bit on the list. And as I said, but they're interesting. I think they will get play for sure.
When I played Martells back in the day, or not back in the day, a few months back, played them way more. I mean, you always get, like, when I built the list, I always get in the situation where I have to pick between High Hermitage Sentinel and the Spearlord, and most of the time you go for the Spearlord because it's just more effective. That being said, when we not think competitively, I think he brings also a lot to the game. As you say, it brings a lot to the Sand Skirmishes, right? Not saying he's better, obviously, Like Boldness and Courage is just more effective. There's no condition, no situation, always better. But High Hermitage Sentinel, like in Darkstar Retinue, in Sand Skirmishes, in basically every unit, Dervishes or whatever, he can work in so many ways.
Very interesting in Dervishes. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I like him. I just like fall back in what we just discussed. You probably will still go for the Spear Lord or something else, which probably I don't know how to solve it. I'm just saying, if we want to have more versatile lists and see more attachments for Martells, we probably need some reworks for some of the attachments out there, and not bringing us back to the Spear Lord once and for all times. So yeah. Yeah,
it's a new game. It's in my opinion a new game, and
different game now. Yeah,
it's a different game now, and now I mean you really see that some of the attachments are not fitting really to the units, and vice versa. And I think here the designers also have the chance to make changes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Ambush to be in an infantry unit, I have to say, not so interesting in my opinion. In Cuff, this is a completely different story.
Yeah.
And I think you have now a really completely new design space, in my opinion, which is also pretty exciting in my opinion.
Pretty good for let's me hope for a mid-season patch, right? Now that now they made the bold move of bringing us where we are right now, and and now is the time to take all of this and saying, okay, now we balance this out, or we take two two attachments that a lot of times like go against each other when in terms of picking it, and now we balance them out so they can both work. Yep. All right, so that's on that. So let's go to we already discussed it. Our Hota, like in general for such a great deck. I mean, all the cards, like maybe one or two are not as good, but the whole deck of the Martells is so strong that battle plan for just 1 point, basically free now. Like in addition, you can just grab your Rising Thames or your Lone Knight or whatever you want, whatever you need in that exact moment, or what is it, Dune Tactics at the exact right moment is just crucial. Because like in Martells, when I played against Martells, the only real chance you have in terms of like that you really blow a hole in them is when Dune Tactics or Rising Thames or all these cards are not in not in your hand at the very right moment. And he basically puts that away, which is hard to deal with in the future. So I really have to see how to play against Martells in the future. Really have to say. But about the other two, Obara Sand and Nymeria Sand, those sand snakes. Martin, what does it do? Where do you see them? Does it change much? Is there something you say, this is definitely a thing we will see in the future?
I would go first with Obara Sand.
Mm-hmm.
I think the moral check and then the charge is not I would go for a bad attachment here, because if your opponent is clever, he brings something in range behind stakes, and then he can just go for your morale check.
Charge
Maybe
me.
you put charge me. Oh, over the stakes. That's 2 to 4 wounds. I don't like her, but it's a personal thing. I don't like things which I can't control. I think she needed more benefits, more than the auto 6 here, so that I personally would play her. There are players out there who like these random things and they will have fun with her, but for me, she's not the same. And
I tried her in the past in Dervishes and it worked quite okay, but like saying it wasn't a tournament, right? It was just play at local store or like local league, whatever, just for having great games, fun games. But it worked quite okay in Dervishes. But I feel what you're saying, you can't control it every time. So yeah.
Yeah, and Elia, I like her. Oh no, it's not Elia. What's her name?
Nymeria Sand with it.
Sorry. Sorry.
Advantage Strike and Dornish Vengeance, yeah.
Yeah, Dornish Vengeance is a good rule, and the other one, if you've got your tempo turn, that's pretty good, because then I control swords, and then when I get hit back, I can deal out some wounds, maybe 3 to 4, because Martells are not the toughest faction in the world. So I think for free, I would try. Rerolls are always good. I see her in Sunspear Dervishes because they're only hitting on 4, and with rerolls, and they are pretty nice. I would give her a try, definitely. And you have another vengeance element here, which is in the nature of the Martell decks. Oh, you do this, and I punish you here. You do this, I punish you there. Are you activating rising temperatures? Are you activating less movement, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think she's good. Obara, yeah, as we talked, needs a little tweak here.
Maybe a little more love. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe crit blow or something like on top. Maybe something like that.
Also, just give her everything: crit blows, sundering, whatever, and precision. No, like the vengeance, the vengeance part you just said is really interesting, because I really would love to see a revival of Oberyn NCU, because I really liked Oberyn NCU when he was released.
He was so good. Yeah.
It was so good. Probably, obviously, too good, but he was just so much fun every time. Oh, you want to hit me there? Just wait a minute. I bring Oberyn over there. So you just put him there, and then you say, "Yeah, you go, right? You get it." So I really want to see that in the future. That's on my wish list. That I see Oberyn, and that a Martell player has really to decide: do I take the commander, like kind of Courtney Penrose vibe? Do I do I always take Oberyn commander, or is the NCU so good that I, tend to take the NCU? Yeah, so that's on attachments. We also see a unit change. A unit change that was, let's say, expected, or at least a lot of people hoped for. But my question to both of you, and let's start with Toby here on the Dune Vipers. Basically, 1 less point, so 5 points now, which is, in general, I feel good for Martells for the list building aspect of it. They lost Counter-Strike.
Yes.
So Toby, what does it do?
Is it enough?
Is it enough? Do you say, all right, now Dune Vipers is a thing, or are you saying, okay, I feel it, I see what they're trying to do, for me, nothing changes?
I mean, internationally, I only know one player playing Dune Vipers Forest Pond, Johannes from Finland.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He this was his go-to list, Oberyn in Dune Vipers. I never understood it, but it worked for him pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 6 speed, 4 armor, 6 morale, good stats in my opinion. Really good stats. Yeah.
For 5 points.
For 5 points.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. Really good. The abilities are okay. Yeah. Gang up is
you have to make it work. Yeah.
You have to make it work.
Yeah.
I think and this is maybe something, in my opinion, which we have to see a little bit. 8 activation lists for Martell. Is this a thing or not? Yeah.
Hopefully.
If this is a thing, they have a place, and you see they will be played.
Yeah.
If 7 activations, which is still, in my opinion, the favorite list type, I don't see them, to be honest, because I just take Skirmisher, in my opinion, or something. Yeah,
which is a thing I do not like. Same with Spearlord. Same with Sand Skirmishes. That is really a thing, and I think when you are not a main Martell player, all other players really want to see some change. Not because like Sand Skirmishes are great, because like me as a Night Swords player, I know my time of Ranger Hunters. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying anything, but I feel for this whole game, it's not good to have something, as Martin also said, auto picks are not good for this game. In the long run, I mean, it's fine for a season, right? It's fine for maybe even 2, but then you need to change something. And I think for the Martells, the Sand Skirmishes, Spearlord thing, was there, had its place. I know you guys like it because you win games with it, but I feel for like from a bird's eye view for the game, there should be a change somewhere in the future. Like for the Ranger Hunters back in the day, and like
I hope so.
Yeah, so I hope so. It get nerfed down a little bit, or changed in a way that it's not an auto include anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of like what we're wishing for, Martin, when we think mid-season patch, next patch, what would be your key three things? Either a specific unit or a specific whatever, a specific card, or overall, what needs to be changed, or what would you like to see the developers focus on in upcoming patches?
For me personally, I was surprised that they changed Dune Vipers because I had 2 nerfs in my book for obviously Sand Skirmishers or Skyreach Bowmen, or 2 buffs for the Retinue, or maybe Sunspear Dervishes. I like them; they're pretty cool looking. I thought,
I love them. Yeah,
look, or maybe 1 or 2 of these 4 units, 1 buff, 1 nerf, it would be fine. I was surprised that they changed the Dune Vipers because they were okay. Toby basically said everything, but they were not the first in line for a change. They were like,
okay,
they're fine. So I would
well,
love
for
to
me
see,
they were, but yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
I would love to see if they take care of these 4 units I talked about earlier. Then, at the moment, Martells have too many auto includes. They have got Sand Skirmishers, they've got Ilaria, they've got Ariahota, they have got
Skyreach
Doran and
Bowman.
Sigio, Skyreach Bowman, and it's basically, I'm making fun in the past. They said I win with House Skirmishers, and not with House Martell, with House Skirmishers, because it's basically all they like. And if you are very skilled with this game, in some games you need only 1 unit of skirmishers to bring down the whole army of the opponent, and that was not so good. That would be my second change, and what would be fun? Maybe Hero 3 or a new unit. Yeah, but Hero 3, I think I will go for Hero 3 here. Because all the big houses, the great houses, have got 3 hero boxes, and Martells only have got 2, and more heroes. Let's to be honest, hero boxes are the best boxes in the game because they change your army. And I think there are no two opinions about this.
And Martells have the lore for it also, right? So there is enough lore to build a hero box 3.
So I would go for hero box 3.
Great.
My third wish.
Great. So Toby, before I go to the next slide, what I read, it's still crawling over my back. But do you guys actually feel bad when you do stuff like this? I mean, like when I build lists as a Night's Watch player, I never feel bad, except when I pick a stone thrower. But with none other thing, when I build lists, I feel bad. But when you do this, can you sleep at night, or what's happening for you?
I feel
you feel great.
I feel great. I can sleep really
You're
good.
a bad man. Yeah. So
no,
guide me through it.
Yeah. No, I think what Martin just, or what we just discussed, you're seeing here in the list in principle. The list represents or summarizes a little bit what we just talked about. Right. So we have skirmishers.
A lot of them.
The best, a lot of them still one of the maybe the best unit in Martells. You have Skyreach Bowman, maybe the second best unit in Martells.
Yes.
You have Spear Lords, which in the skirmishers, which are in principle nicely synergizing. You have Hota, and you have Starkstar.
To bring Lone Knight,
To bring Lone Knight, exactly. And NCUs, in my opinion, you can always argue pro-con. I think this is a nice lineup. Ariane, shutdown, attachments or orders from a unit. Doran, give you a lot of flexibility. You can heal. You can draw a card. You can spit out tokens. And Ilaria still also,
obviously,
I think, still auto-include for token play and also for your power moves. It's still incredible.
So you both feel this is something we will see in the competitive sector when we check stats, when we see Hall of Champions. This will be one list we will definitely see here and there.
I think this archetype, yes, I think this is an archetype you will see. Yeah, and you already, I think Sophie also played last year with Blackguards. She played this list with Blackguards instead of Scourge Bowman. Yeah, so it was before Scourge Bowman were coming out, and you also had. I mean, I think this was maybe a more European thing, but already last season you saw a lot of double skirmisher lists. Yeah, especially in Poland, there are some really nice players. And there you already saw, I mean, skirmishers are good. Why only take one? We take two. Yeah. So, and now with the 3 attachment points, I mean, this is the outcome in principle.
Yeah, understood. So to make it like more interesting, because this is something, as you say, this is basically a summary, and I think a lot of people would have forecasted that this list will be up there. We also brought an interesting list, or like this is also interesting, but saying interesting, making more use of what we got through this patch. So this one brings Obara Sand and Dervishes, which we already also discussed, because the attachment of Obara Sand brings so many keywords and really buffs the Sunspear Dervishes, which are already fast, which bring also great flexibility to your army. So Martin, this list, how would you play it exactly, especially when beginners of Martells see 2 spearmen? What do they do on the battlefield? What does the Dune Vipers do? Where do you bring the Skyreach Bowman? Do you ever play outflank? All these questions. Could you guide me through it?
Yes, this is the more kitchen table list, not so straight up. But I as I said earlier, I like the Sunspear Dervishes, and they're the key element here.
Yeah.
I've got the Dune Vipers for the gang up, and I've got my Spearman for tactical reposition and for durability, because the Spearman Captain was an attachment we didn't talk about. He's a great attachment.
He's great,
because he's nameless.
Yeah.
You can bring 4, but because Martells have so much, it's like you have a good player in a basketball team, but he's playing with LeBron, Michael, Kobe, Shaq, and he's the 5th guy. But he's good. He can hand out weekend tokens, and they're good. Not against the Blood Riders of Targaryen, but all other armies, against all other armies, he can help you survive. And in this list, I try to be as aggressive as possible. I want to bring up the Dune Vipers, maybe take a risky charge, maybe on a 4, to bring them in, and after that my Sunspear Dervishes come second in line and try to
make use of the gang up.
Yeah, make use of the gang up, exactly. With the Field by Slaughter, they have durability, and with 2 weekend tokens, you're fine. You can remove 1, but can you remove 2? And armies like Lannisters, like Starks, they have 1 or none token removal, only the bags, and they will suffer from the Spearman Captains. They will do their work. As you see, like Xandor from the Neutral Hero Box, he's a great attachment, but he's named, so you only can bring him 1. And Martells have him, basically the same attachment with Threaten, but he's nameless, and you can bring 2 or 3. He's very good. And then we have Tahin also. She can poison whatever zone you like. Maybe the Water Gardens, because then you're free for your Doran. Doran can bring out 2 tokens and the 2 effects every round. I think that's very good.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can poison swords or bags. I'm a big fan of poisoning horses, because Martells are a very quick and versatile and mobile faction.
So you take that away?
Yeah, and I can take that away from my opponent. And Alaria is, as said, she's an auto-include.
But I love Tayin because she just brings another poison thing into the game, which it's just there. The Strangler needs to be on the table, right? When I play fun games, I don't know if it really, like the 5 points. We discussed that in a season 5 video, which we can tag up here. But so we discussed that, that she heals a wound, does her poison thing, and costs 5 points. We can still discuss if this is a thing. But every time I see her, at least what she does when you play not against like high-end competitive players, like beginners or mid-section players. When they receive Tyenn, a lot of times you see thinking, especially in combination with Doran Tyenn. So I like that combo. I like to see you blank something, and then you say, okay, now you have to think, because I brought Doran and Tyenn. So now you draw his focus away from the battlefield, draw it over here to the tactics board, right? And he is always like not really sure what to do, especially when you are not fully aware of all the card effects. Yeah. So yeah, great list. Let's see. As soon as I jump back to Martell's in the future, this is something I will try out, I think. Yeah. So great list, and to stress it, this is an 8 activation list, not 7. So do you see any like Toby, maybe final word on this list? Is that, would you be familiar playing with 8 activations even? That should be new for you too, right? I mean, like as a Martell main player.
My first section was Free Folk, yeah, so I know.
Oh, okay, so you know.
No, but for sure. I mean, I think this is one of the most interesting points. Do we really see 8 activation lists here popping up or popping out? I'm not sure, to be honest. I still think 7 activations are stronger, in my opinion. But let's see. Give it time. Yeah. I'm really excited, and I hope also that they find their place. And maybe as a second list. Yeah, and this would be really cool, in my opinion, if this happens.
That would be great. All right, so that brings us to the end of our season 6 review for Martells. Is there any final thing you want to share about Martells? Anything you want to share with the community, or are we done here?
Yeah. Sorry, you first, Martin.
Okay. I think if you're not playing competitively on kitchen table games, because we talked about this auto include, try force yourself to leave those spear lords, aria holders, and so on at home, and just try something new. Martells we didn't lose a word about Nymeria. She's crazy good now. I think we didn't talk about Royal Guard. Royal Guard was RSO card. Oh, you can't spend winnable tokens, and I can reroll my
just a tank in the middle.
My armor saves, and I've got shield wall, and that will be a hard time. Yeah, so just try this. I think you have to bring into your mind that the most games are not highly competitive tournament games, even not for me, as I'm playing a lot of tournaments, but the most games I play are with my friends, with Ola, with Torben, and so on. Just bring some nice stuff, because you want to have a good times, and Martell can be interesting and give you good games, and not 3 times skirmisher with Lord, with Darkstar, whatever. Just try new stuff.
Experiment,
Yeah, because
experiment.
Everybody knows skirmishers are good, so.
All right, I think that concludes it. Try everything out. Try to make use of what cmon gave us here, because this is a great opportunity to also like dive into what the faction can also bring next to like stuff you normally pick. I think that's a great take for all of us now to dive deep, to experiment and try out new things. Yeah, and I think there's nothing more to say, guys, than until we meet again for the next patch video, roll those crits, guys.
Come for the hits and stay for the crits.